I did not check Asana, I did not check Slack, I did not check my email for 6 months.
Welcome to the Happy Clients Podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to happy clients.
Remember when running an agency meant solving exciting problems, crafting killer strategies, and building meaningful relationships with clients? And now it feels like chasing emails, double-checking deadlines, and micromanaging the details. Let Copper CRM bring the spark back. Built for Google Workspace, Copper helps digital agencies automate follow-ups, manage leads effortlessly, and keep client conversations crystal clear without the overwhelm. Stay organized and win your time back, and start loving your work again. Try it for free for 14 days at copper.com/happyclients. And use Happy Clients for 15% off of an annual plan while limited time only. Welcome back to the Happy Clients podcast. I just returned from 6 months off from my agency. Yes, 6 months. I know it sounds crazy, but today I'm going to walk you through exactly how I took 6 months off. And maybe you're an agency owner who is thinking that is something that is a goal for you, or maybe you're an account manager and you would love to figure out how you can make this happen for the agency owner that you work for. I'm going to give you the step-by-step of how I did this and what this looked like for me within my business. So this episode is for any agency owner who is looking to step away from the day-to-day. It doesn't have to be 6 months, but maybe you're just curious about what it takes to really build a agency where you can step away from it. And also for the account manager listening who maybe the agency owner that you're working for, their goal is to step away for a minute, maybe take a vacation, and you want to make that happen for them. So I want to give you kind of a look at the back side of growing and scaling an agency that allowed me to step away for 6 months. So a little bit of backstory. When I was growing Dot & Co., early days, I read the book called The 4-Hour Workweek. And I'm sure every entrepreneur listening has heard of this book, or maybe you've read it. And this was something that was always in the back of my mind. And it really reframed for me how to build a business that can run without you. And I think that for a lot of us agency owners, we have this big dream of growing this agency that allows us to go live that life that we've always dreamed. And I know everyone says it's on an island, on a beach, and just to kind of unplug. But for me, I knew that someday I would want to have kids and I would want to step into this new type of lifestyle that a 9-to-5 wouldn't allow me to kind of live. And for me, that was the driving force every single day growing my agency. And I knew that in order for my business to run without me, I needed to have the systems and the processes and the team in place so that I could eventually step away from the day-to-day. And for me, that meant putting people in place in these seats early on so that they could get used to the role, they could be accountable, they could learn what it really takes to be successful in their role so that someday I could actually take a step back. And so in the early days, it wasn't just about building SOPs and processes. Yes, this was part of it, but it was really the mindset. And this 4-hour work week set me up to think about my business in a way that could run without me. And that meant a lot of investment in team members. So right from the beginning, I was hiring people to manage people. I was hiring people to do sales, to do marketing, to manage our clients, of course. And that really allowed me to step into this zone where I was able to look high level at my business. And now this actually took me a lot longer than I thought it would. I was still managing accounts for the first number of years, and I was still that account manager. And when I look back, I can see on a graph exactly where I got rid of the account management myself. And I know this is something that I talk about all the time. I practice what I preach. I can tell you exactly when I removed myself from the client-facing role. And I can see this in my business's growth trajectory and down to the month exactly when I got out of account management, things just grew like crazy because I was able to step into this next level in my business. We'll call it, we unlocked the next level where I was able to look high level, strategic lens into my business and say, okay, where are things working? Where are things not working? So that was kind of the first thing that I did. Actually, before I personally stepped out of account management, I was investing in team members to do people management, to help with account management on other accounts. And I kept, maybe a couple of accounts myself. So I was kind of investing around myself to make sure that my business was building itself up to a point where I could then remove myself. And we actually have another episode coming in a week or so, more about the specifics of how to do this for yourself. But this is just kind of the backstory of exactly how I got there. So as I was kind of growing, I had these levels in my head of, okay, I'm going to unlock this level and this level and this level. And it wasn't actually a revenue number, or it wasn't even a profit number. They were these roles where it was getting in my way. It was getting in my way from removing myself from the day-to-day. So when I would feel like I was stuck, that's when I knew I needed to make a hire. So for example, I was doing sales myself for a number of years, and things just started to get repetitive for me. And I don't know if you're an entrepreneur listening to this, once things get repetitive, they get boring and then you don't want to do it anymore. And that's exactly where I hit. So I knew I needed to hire someone to do sales. And then, the management of operations, that was something that was overwhelming me. I knew I needed to hire an operator. Marketing, that was something that was just draining me. And I knew I had to bring somebody in to do marketing or to do sales coaching. And all these little unlocks were on my trajectory to remove myself. And I think for most of us agency owners, we're generally striving towards one thing. And maybe it's to remove yourself. Maybe it's to be acquired someday. Maybe it's a certain profit number. But for me, it was always, I want this business to run without me. And so looking forward to a potential, maybe I was going to take a maternity leave someday, I knew that all of these steps had to be taken care of before I could actually step away. And I will be honest, the first time I took a maternity leave, yes, I took 2 months off, but then I jumped right back in. And as I reflected on why I did that, to be honest, it wasn't because my systems weren't there or because I didn't have the team. It was because I mentally wasn't ready for that. My whole identity was business owner. It was the CEO. This was my whole identity. And so after I had my first maternity leave, I just jumped back in. I didn't know what else to do. And then looking forward to the next time I took 6 months off, I knew I couldn't just jump back in. If I was going to, it had to be this really strategic move. And that was exactly what I was mentally preparing for this time around. And I did it. And really looking back, the things that made this so successful were the people that we had in place. And it was having people in the right roles, in the right seats, with the right accountability. And I say this all the time, especially for account managers who are managing your clients, which, that's the bread and butter of your agency. We need to make sure we have the right people in the right seats with the right KPIs who, when they are able to actually not just communicate with your clients, but own that relationship. Where things break down is when they are not actually owning the relationship with your clients. And that is where you're going to have to jump back in. And so for me, having people in place who actually were owning those accounts, who were managing the clients, who were able to absolutely run the show without me, that is when I was able to actually step away. And I can tell you, I did not check Asana, I did not check Slack, I did not check my email for 6 months. And I want to get into the nitty-gritty of exactly why I was able to do that in another episode and how you can do that. But it is possible. And I'm so proud now looking back that I was able to not just take a vacation, because I know for most of us, even taking a week off is crazy. But this was a real stop and a pause. And now that I'm coming back slowly from this 6 months off, I'm able to really think about things in a different way and think about how maybe you as the agency owner or maybe you as the account manager can just reframe your mind to be able to actually do this. Because what I realized was that it's not just about the systems and the team and the having people in the right place. It's all about the mindset. And if you're not in the mindset and you're not confident to be able to actually step away and want to step away, then it's never going to be successful. So I will say it was not easy to take 6 months off. It was very intentional. I had to every single day check myself and say, you are not checking in. You are not getting on that laptop. You are being present here right now in this time that you worked so hard to allow yourself to have this time. And, it really was this strategic move, but I realized that to really allow yourself to step away and have this vision come to life, you have to be mentally ready for it. So as an account manager, what do you need to know to allow your agency owner to actually step away? So the biggest thing that I see for account managers is you need to realize you're not just this communicator. You're not just this coordinator. You are the reason why clients feel supported. And you should be owning that role, whether the agency owner is there or they're gone. And I've had this happen so many times as an account manager. I would be working alongside the agency owner and then he's gone for 2 weeks. And, maybe something happened with their kid. That happened to me before. His kid got sick and he was gone for 2 weeks and I had to take over. That was, a moment where I couldn't lean on him. I had to make sure that I already had owned those relationships and that I was the one who was supporting my clients. But you have to really step into this role and know that you own this. And that is not only going to allow your agency owners to step away, but it's going to allow you to really take ownership of this role and to be successful as an account manager in this agency. Something that makes you as the account manager really stand out is you have to be so proactive. We talk about this all the time. You have to be proactive. You have to have empathy. You have to be accountability. You have to be accountable. But really it comes down to owning this role and being able to grow and start to think like your agency owner. And so, of course, this is going to take time. It's not the first week into your role, but it's something that you need to work towards. So my biggest tip for you as an account manager is to work with your agency owner and tell them, I want to take over these relationships so that you can take a vacation, you can go do CEO things. And I think for you in your role as an account manager, that would go so far. And that would just really show that you're really owning your role. So a big takeaway for me that I've realized over these last 6 months as I've been reflecting is that you absolutely can build a business that runs without you. It really just starts with trusting yourself. It means that you can step away and trust your team. You trust that you're not going to just jump back in like I did that first time. And if you really want the freedom to not be tied to your desk all day, not be tied to every Slack channel, you need to create that from the ground up. And it's not something that's going to happen with an SOP. It's really something that you have to embody as an agency owner. You have to invest in the right team. You have to just be driving towards this goal. And I hope that if you are somebody listening who this is your goal, to either free up the agency owner to step away, or maybe you are the agency owner and you want to step away, I hope that this inspired you to build a business that you actually want. And for me, this has been the goal since day one, and it took me 7 years almost to get there, but it was so worth it. And now I'm so proud to be able to slowly step back in and really reframe how I want to grow my business. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Let's go make some more happy clients and get into some more fun episodes. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode.
Here's to happy clients.